Welcome to Siya Network. I'm not alone. This is our rugby segment. My name is Nadim Lukhele. I'm with the former Springbok Lions. Lions or Cats, gonna tell me now.
Yes,
the guy that I've known him for a long time at the SAPC and around. A good man. One of the smartest people you can find. I think rugby players are generally smart and they grasp things very quickly. Muzi Masina. I think he's former SAPC one Simunye. Spinning the media and sports for too long. Mac, welcome.
Welcome, brother. Network, yeah. Good to see you, man. Yeah, Switch on Network. Nice studio. I must say, it's very good.
Obviously, thank you so much, Mac.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're one of the few guys who started rugby playing for the Lions.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
And I remember when I was still like in a taxi, listening to, what do they call it? 94.7 Highfield Stereo.
Yeah.
You see that most of the guys say, is Mac Masina in the lineup?
Yeah, hey, no, we started a long time ago. I mean, I was 15 years old when I started rugby. And strangely enough, a lot of people, but I wouldn't Pume KZN or Eastern Cape. No, we were the first school to start rugby SO8. The school is called Jablani Technical High School. So that's where it all started. Why? Because at that school, it was a technical school when Nadim. So you can imagine in those years with teachers that were there teaching us about motor mechanic, about woodwork, and all of the majority of them, they
woodwork here, Julius Malia.
They basically came from a Krugersdorp. Yeah, born a Krugersdorp, Nase Rodiport. So that's where it all started for me.
So, like, you are in rugby when you're 15 years in Soweto, not soccer?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those things where they announced it, go assembly. I'm not too sure what Majele, Abantwana Soweto, Akonama assembly. The principal announced it. I remember very well. His surname was Mr. Van Staden. And so you can imagine with the
Van Staden
mustache. So you can imagine.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, boys, we are going to be starting a brand new sport. It's going to be rugby. Whoever that wants to join, they must come join. I mean, after Sekas, I was like, but for some reason, after like a week or so, I went in just to go and have a look and see what is exactly these guys are doing. Immediately when I was watching and seeing exactly what they were doing, I actually just fell in love. Just loved the game. I was like, okay, this is it. And then obviously the coach says to me, no, you want to try it? I said, boom, that was history. So that's how I really actually just got involved. And I never looked back after that. And then I started to be serious and I started training hard, for it. And I was made a captain immediately after like a month or so. The rest was history, basically.
Yeah. So you never had the interest in soccer?
No, I was still playing soccer. Not too many people know that, in my latest year, I had an opportunity, to go for the Lions trials, as a schoolboy and go to play for trials for the Cosmos, those
Jomo
years.
Cosmos, yeah, because Jomo Cosmos was there. I know.
But then again, my heart was always, because the rugby for me, it was a new thing, new interest and all that stuff. And then it was just there. You could see where the opportunities were going to be. But on the other side, I never actually just left soccer because Ekasi every weekend is Yaduma and all that stuff. So it was quite good. I know probably your next question was like, what was my position?
Actually, I was going to say, which team were you supporting? Oh, Pagani.
I see you again, Fanagate.
So I think they'll win the league next season.
Hey, Baba, it's going to be tough. Look, I saw Chiefs just playing their friendly games, just leading to the league. They're not looking bad. They're actually very good. I could see there's something changing there. It looks like as if their coach is trying just to make all the nice adjustment and then they're combining. We all know Gabafana Pitori, they're always going to be good.
Yeah, they're very strong.
And then not too many people forget there's a team, from Stellenbosch that I really think that those guys, we always have to be very careful about it, Stellenbosch, because
I know, you're well clued up in all sides. And then you went to the Lions.
Yes.
When is that happening? From the school Jablani Technical?
Yeah, no, look, when I was at Jablani Technical, I had an opportunity just to go for trials. I'm sure you've seen it, where they say there's Craven Week trials and all that stuff. So Craven Week, this is where now all the province combined, they create a team. Like I'll give you an example. There'll be a Cape Town team.
By then, there was already Craven Week.
Oh, yeah.
So the structure was...
Yeah. So I got invited basically, to play trials as one of the guys that they've identified from Soweto. Those trials, they were held at the school called St. John's College. Then when I got there, obviously you play your trials and all that stuff. When I was done, I was approached by the coaches asking me to come and study there and finish off and play rugby.
So who's paying you? Because it's very expensive there.
Yeah, well, obviously it was a full bursary, scholarship and all that stuff. And it was very good for me. Good life, I must say, seeing a total different Izinto. You can imagine a guy from Ekasi. And all of a sudden, I mean, you go and play against all these brilliant schools and you see the quality of players and better quality of coaching and
also all the better quality of education.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, when I got there to say there at the St. John's College, there were quite a few guys that I saw about that, black guys, you know what I mean? And it's normal from Untrasekas, to Shapunjan, and the guys kept quiet. And then Smogo, Kanjan, to can't you know these guys don't understand the lingo, they only speak English.
Yes, yeah, it's like that.
But then, because of I could adapt very easily, I had to really just jump in. So it was basically like that. I had to really... so I just went in like that and look, good life, good experience, met great friends. This is where we reconnected with Owen Nkumane. And funny enough, Owen Nkumane, we were at school together at Soweto. And a couple of years back, I bumped into him in the corridor. We were staying together in the boarding house. You can imagine, this is where I got more chilled because Bogumchita was a kasi, Ohlade Protea. Now we really started, just to take things forward.
So then you moved to the Lions. How did it come about?
Yeah, look.
And how does a person from Soweto now plays for the Golden Lions?
How it normally happens is that with all the schoolboy, if you play for your school anyway, you can be in Cape Town. Obviously, that school is under the province, which is here. If you're in Gauteng, it's just the Lions. And then you've got your under-19s. Lions under 19, you've got your under 21s, you've got your under 21 team, and then of course after that you've got your senior team. So immediately when they can identify you, they will actually rope you in and make sure that you do get involved in those teams, whether it's your under 19 team or it's under 21 team. Straight from the under 21 team, I mean, if they feel as if you can handle pressure, you are good enough, they can elevate you immediately, they put you straight onto the senior team, which I really think that it was very good. I mean, I think in those years, development obviously was good, from our side because you knew that if you can make the Lions under 21, there's a high possibility that you'll make the senior team. If maybe you can't make the senior team, maybe the other province will take you, like the Bulls or like the Falcons and all the other guys that get.
So eventually the senior team took you?
Yeah, well, before the senior team actually took me, the Falcons actually took me first.
Oh, okay.
I was on loan type of thing because obviously I was not being used. I think when I came in my time. When you were on loan? You're revealing my
18
age.
Years. Yeah, 18 years.
So when I came into the picture, playing for the Lions, that time it was very tough. I will tell you why. Because if you're looking at the squad then, it's when I was really trying to break it into the team while the majority of the squad, it was the 95 World Cup winning team. The likes of James Small, you name it, all of them, they were there.
Guns,
all the big guns, the Yappy Milders, the Henny, the Henny Mild, you name them, all the top guys. I mean, these guys had finished actually winning the World Cup. And a year later, I must try and see if I can break in to try and get the spots onto the line. So it was tough. It was never an easy thing. But you see, the good thing about that from my side, you learn a lot. I'll tell you why, because you can't buy experience. I mean, these guys have been in the picture. They've been there, done that. They've won the World Cup. They've won the Currie Cup, in the previous years. So they knew each other very well. And they knew exactly what they needed to do. So as a youngster, it was always very interesting to see how they do things, their work ethics, how hard are they to themselves? How do they respond to the coach? Are they working harder, off the ball and all that stuff? So I took a lot from them. And then obviously in my latest year, when they were done, when they retired, when we started trying to take over as well as senior players, we kind of really just continued just doing
But how is it like for a black person? Because we know that, rugby is white. It's a white sport in South Africa. It's a well-known fact.
Yeah, look.
But then it was more white and there was no political saying.
Yeah, it was.
Quota. There was no quota. There was nothing. It was only on merit.
Yeah, then it was on merit. Yeah. And look, it was difficult because you're coming into a totally different environment. And then the other thing, it was just the language. Hence now I can Africans. I can actually talk back. Because we were forced. The coach comes in here, they speak Afrikaans, they coach in Afrikaans. You had to make a plan. You had to make sure that you listen, you know exactly what needs to be done. If you didn't understand, you had to ask your teammates, hey, sorry, what is the coach saying? What is it? You know what I mean? Because there was no time, just to let's address the house in English and all that stuff. It was just all about whatever that they needed to do because, look, you don't really blame them because technically we really just came into their space, you know what I mean? It was their thing then, that time. And all of a sudden, we really just come in, just trickling through. But then again, I must say, once again, you do learn a lot. You do learn their culture. Hence, in my latest year, I was comfortable just to go and coach in Free State, where I know it's an Afrikaans-dominated place. Yeah. And I even went to Pretoria as well just to coach there, at Turks University, where I knew that I was going to be okay because of the dynamics that I've had, that I've picked up in my life.
But I want to know the moment you just step in as a Lions first team. How does it feel? Because now you know that it's even the fans are 100% white, obvious. Yeah. Not like now where in Eastern Cape you see Springbok playing in Gqeberha, you can see a lot of black people. Yeah. So how was it like for you?
Look, I think to be honest, if I look back, for me, it was not a big thing, who was watching, who's in my teammates and all that stuff. My interest was just to go there and have fun with my teammates. Whether we played at...
but the teammates were very good to you.
Oh, they were. Look, even now, we actually still friends. We call each other, we chirp at each other and all that stuff. The only difference is that where you felt as if, Jesus, it's quite hectic when you go and play at Western Province, But then again, Western Province, those years, I'm not quite sure now whether it does happen a lot. They were very chirpy, They will chirp you. They will ask you, hey, what are you doing here? Why don't you go play soccer and all that stuff? And then all these funny things and all that.
Remember when we were together at the gym and run back? We'll be talking about rugby, the national team. You guys, then how are you guys doing in soccer? Then we need to talk about this. It's like rugby is their sport. You need to talk about Bafana.
Yeah, but looking back, I don't think that is something that was too destructive. Yeah, because basically, we knew what we wanted to do. Even if we went and play in the pools, that you're there with your teammate. You've got a job to do. You got to get there and do whatever that you need to do. You get out, jump into the bus, back to the hotel. You come back home anyway. So in that aspect, it actually just kept you focused. And it really just tested you sometimes, how intellectual are you in terms of your mind, how much you can take. But you see, the good thing about rugby, it's a very funny thing. The spectators, they can fight with you, they can swear at you, but after the game, they'll come to you and shake hands and say, look, well done, you've played well and all that stuff. That's the province guys. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it shows that they're actually rugby people, but they will do anything just to win the game, including the spectators. Yeah. Yeah. So then now you see guys like, you played with Rassie or against Rassie? Yeah, no. I actually played with Rassie when we played for the Cats. Very great guy, good guy. He's always been like this. He's always been a guy that looks for a little bit more extra guy. So he was a thinker, someone else who doesn't really just sit there and do things normally. He'll do anything to win as well. If it means that he will bring in lights right there by the stadium just to communicate with his players, so be it. If it means that he's got all the trackers to basically just to track the players and able just to monitor them, if they are playing on the field. I think now it's getting even popular in soccer.
And they used to do then.
That thing it's always been there.
20 years ago. Over 20 years ago.
Yes. To analyze the game, to take out the stats. Actually, one of the players, the coaches that used to do that a lot, that was very big on that, is Roger Tissa from Vets. I remember a long time ago, when we're meeting at the functions and all the stuff, when we touch base, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there were even cameras at the Vets Old Stadium to look at the angles of how his team performed. Roger Tissa was the man those years. Obviously, now he's not there anymore. But I mean, those things in rugby, they were still happening.
Then,
and then even Rassie.
In soccer, it's new. It's like what is he wearing? And all
I mean, this is where now it's all about just the performance, the high performance of the players. I mean, you might think as a player you are doing very well, you're covering the ground. All of a sudden, when they look at the stats, and you might think that you're going at full pace. But those numbers, those tracking devices, they don't actually lie. You might think, I've ran about 5Ks. Only to find out that.
A thing at the guy.
But that thing is very good to have. But you can't really, rely on it a lot. You still got a coach.
Is he a thinker or is just a strategic person?
Everything.
Or he's very smart?
He's a smart person. And then, funny enough, he uses something that we know about it, but we're not really thinking about it, but he'll make it work. Like, for instance, I mean, you saw what happened in the last game from the Springbok players, where they actually created a line out right in the middle of the park. I mean, it can be done, but not too many people actually thought about it. But so he goes to that extent to make sure that he gets whatever that he can. Even to
during
make
the last Rugby World Cup, remember when Limbok was missing chances, then they flew in Pollard.
Correct.
And then Kolisi obviously will go for a line out. But he just decided that now the games were coming because New Zealand were very strong and the semi-finals were difficult against France, right? It was hell. I mean, because it looks like France is connected. But you just look at his mind, that the guy who masterminded France, I mean, at home.
It's I must say, we're very lucky, to have someone like him now at this stage of the game, especially in South Africa. We needed it. And this will really enable, a lot of things in South Africa. I mean, who will ever thought that? We'll talk about probably the smallest guy on the field, the likes of Cheslin Kolbe, to be probably the best players in the world. I mean, just looking back, we're not going to have someone like Mazole Mapimpi if Rassie was not there, just
even Kolisi is a captain,
to see that opportunity. Even the likes of Kolisi, luckily he worked with Siya Kolisi while he was at Western Province as the coach. So he knew Siya from a long time ago that he could be the guy that can actually just lead the Springbok. But obviously he does look at totally different qualities and all that stuff, which is what is good about Rassie. I mean, if you're looking at his management team, your forward coach, your backline coach, the likes of Sticks and everyone else, he puts on a very good team. I mean, for him just to go and get someone from New Zealand to come in and coach, hey, so this is where now
you come from. You can contribute positive.
Yes, one of probably the biggest thing that kills sport. I mean, I'm not even talking about rugby only, even soccer. People really try to push their egos in front, and then it really kills the game. Because look, bro, it doesn't really matter. Even if I'm a Joburg guy, if I feel as if Nadim is the person that can help me, even if he comes from Limpopo, it doesn't really matter.
No, it's not important.
I need to bring you in and make sure that both me and you and the other teammates, we get the results going.
So is that the attitude that makes the Springbok becoming back-to-back champions? That you can bring people from all different sectors to contribute positive?
I think one of the biggest thing is Rassie will make sure he will do almost everything else. He can do anything. He will try and push all the button to make sure that the national team wins. It doesn't matter what he wants to do, as long as if it's in the right lane. He's playing with it.
Even if it's a bit illegal. I remember this illegal. I remember the story of. I don't know if you remember the story of Warren Gatland, the Wales coach.
I remember him, a crybaby.
The Rugby World Cup.
It was a crybaby. Look,
it was a crybaby. Was it not true though?
No, it was not true. Look, dude, if you think about it, I'll just take you in this thing. We all know that our probably biggest strength is the forwards. It's the scrum and it's the line out, it's a drive. So what Rassie did was to make sure that he's got a bench where he takes out all the forwards, then he brings in another 6 forwards or even 7 forwards to come in and finish off the job.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was anything wrong with that. However, because it didn't come from them in Europe,
then
they see it as a problem. You know what I mean? So you see.
But was it not like they say they act as if other players are injured?
No, they
to
don't.
Accommodate those.
But it's within the rules. You're allowed to take out the other players and put on the other. It's like a normal sub.
Okay.
You know, I'm not too sure whether it's more or less exactly the same in soccer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you've got 5 good guys on the bench, you can pull all 5 guys half time and actually put on your 5 guys to make sure that they finish off the job.
We might say it actually caught them off guard. That's why they started talking about it. Yeah.
And then there was a name called, you know, there was a name where they were saying that it's a bomb squad and all that stuff. So all that thing, it plays onto people's mind and onto the opposition's mind. Hey, no, bomb squad. Yeah. What do? They will bomb you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So all those things.
Yeah. But do you think it's doing enough to empower black people in rugby to give black players a chance?
Yeah. I mean, do you know how many Springbok players that are black that are in the squad?
Lukhele.
Can't even count. There's too many.
Mapimpi.
There's too many.
Siya Kolisi. Mbonambi.
Yeah. There's too many.
Yeah.
There's too many. So,
but do you think there's a future of Ngomezulu?
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed with him in Esprit.
No. Look, Ngomezulu is just one of those players that we know what he can do. He's an excellent player. He's a good player. But you see, once you start jumping in and be an international player, it's a different
game. Yeah,
it's a total different story. Because of, you know, the amount of mistakes that you need to limit, and then you need to stay within the structure of the play. And internationally, once you're not really just tuned up in that, you are going to get caught up. But him as a player, there's no two way about it. He's probably one of the best that we do have. However, for the test match, when we talk about the test match, we talk about someone else who is very efficient, less mistakes, kick all the poles, kick all the balls, you know, and those 3 points, make sure that you find touch and play onto the right areas. Hey, man, so fun, I'm coaching, man. You're putting me my coaching thing in now.
Looking at the current players that we have now.
Yeah.
Obviously, the next World Cup is in 2 years' time in Australia.
Yeah.
Of which has been flying Australia, France, England, not South Africa. not Africa. So, 3 times in a row possible.
Yeah, look, it's possible. I think what will depend on is how we blend these new players to come in and go in and finish off the job. I mean, let's be honest. There's quite a few players that we weren't going to be seeing in the next World Cup.
I'm interested to know those names.
I'm interested to know.
Obviously, the first one will be guys like Mbonambi, Kolisi.
Well, yeah, look.
Especially
I think Siya needs to be there if he's well managed. And once again, I don't think that
because Rachel is not around.
Okay,
let's
someone else. I'm not talking about in that sense. Okay. I'm talking about in terms of you know, him being managed and make sure that by the time we get to the next World Cup, he's still fresh. He can still perform and all that stuff. Obviously, with injuries, that could be really just coming in.
With him, not only in Springbok, in the Sharks season.
Yeah. No, Siya has been good, my man. Trust me. I mean, he's a workhorse. Whether we like it or not, I mean, when he puts on the jersey, he really just works hard. I mean, some of the work that he's doing, if you're not really looking at the game technically, you wouldn't see it. I mean, a lot of people that will see the likes of Ngomezulu, Cheslin, Kolbe or Mapimpi scoring a try. But if you really go back and try and realize and find out exactly where is it coming from, you'll be surprised that Siya Kolisi actually has been involved in almost all those movements. So he does his work. I mean, he's a senior player, brilliant leader. You know, he makes sure that everyone else is comfortable with him, a likable guy.
But do you expect him to play a role like where he's a starter, a captain, or you expect him to play a minimum role just like Bobby Skinstad did in 2007, where he's more like an experienced player?
When you like politics, anyway.
I'm so keen because obviously... the Jackie White 2007 World Cup, there was Os Durant who was highly experienced. Then you've got John Smith. Then you've got the Duplessis brothers. And then you also got Rasu, Victor Midfield. I can go on with that lineup. 2007.
We have
Of course.
I thought you were a soccer guy. Good.
No. Actually, when I started working at SAPC, I was a rugby researcher. So yeah, it's always been about rugby. I was like working on rugby. David O'Sullivan, Peter Hendricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always been about rugby. Yeah.
No, look.
I find rugby more entertaining than soccer. Actually, watching rugby.
Are you saying that?
I usually get bored.
Wow, that's nice.
When I watch soccer, I get bored sometimes. But rugby,
because by Pasana, they play from the back, they go back and then go forward.
And they are so outdated, bad refereeing, and there's no like.
Are you talking about in South Africa or all around?
Even international.
I know.
The decision making, even if you're watching the Champions League final, you just see like, okay. Okay, let's go back to it.
No, look, you know, as a captain, I think first of all, you need to pick someone else where the other players, when they look at
So you think Siya Kolisi should not be the Springbok captain?
No, he should.
In Australia.
He should.
But is there a starter?
You can start. Either way, or even if he comes from the bench, it doesn't really matter. Because remember, you know, his aura just around the squad.
Don't you think it's not the mistake that Peter de Villiers did in the 2011 World Cup where he allowed players like John Smith, the players who won the 20? Don't you think this squad doesn't need like refresh players? Because I mean, even I was listening to Justin Marshall in New Zealand. They are really worried about the Springbok. They are finding ways to.
Oh no, they must worry about themselves. You see that's one of the biggest problems that they're making.
No. Basically, they agree, all of them, that the Springbok at the moment is the best team in the world.
Yes.
But obviously, they are plotting its downfall.
Who?
The New Zealand, because that's
they plotting their downfall?
The Springbok.
They must come in here first and beat us.
The biggest enemy in New Zealand and Australia, you know, who's the Springbok.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
No, fair enough.
So who are the players that you feel like can play a huge role?
No, look, I would like Siya to be there, you know, because I think he's still got another, 2-3 more years in him. And then maybe after that, then he can actually just call it a quits. And then I'm yet to see a team that goes out and win the World Cup without too many players that are not experienced. However, those players that can go in there and experienced players, they'll still have to perform. Hence, it's always good just to blend a little bit of experience plus the juniors, because, the junior guys that can really push that ticket a bit. The junior guys, sometimes they can do something that is extraordinary in a game that makes.
So your players like Iben need to be there.
Well, Iben, I'm actually very worried about him purely because of the injuries. But then again, what I've seen for the past, let's say, a year or 2 years, I mean, the Ruan Norkia, geez, they can play. I mean, the Visa that actually played at 8, I think is probably going to be one of our best players just going forward. There's quite a few players that can really just take it over.
Pollard or Lindbok to take over?
Well, I think Lindbok will still be there. I mean, the floor halves will be there. Because if you look at the three of them, with the age as well, I think Pollard can still make it. Yes, he's a number 10. He doesn't get involved a lot in terms of the contact and all that stuff. But for the forwards players, you actually just tend to worry about the injuries and all the stuff. Ngomezulu is still a baby. Pollard can still push that ticket. And I still believe that the Bok now is going to go out and go play in Japan. He will come back, fresh mind, different ideas and all that stuff. We can still really just benefit from him.
So, according to you, is it possible to go 3 times in a row and win it?
Oh, yeah. Anything is possible. As long as if we plan properly, we get the right players and we pick at the right time.
And we also get the right guy. Rassie is now totally in control of the team. He knows the strength and the weakness. And I mean, that's the guy who has won it twice.
And I think the other thing as well is that we need to be in touch with the other countries. What are they all about? The New Zealand of this world, the France of this world. Because I know we can't be trying just to do our own thing and not really being aware exactly what's happening around us. And Rassie is not stupid. And I tell you why, I won't even be surprised if John now comes back again to South Africa, because the intel that he has picked up.
Coaching I saw him beating the Bulls.
So the intel that he has picked up, I mean, just coaching the URC Leinster, obviously beating the Bulls and really dismantling the Bulls, if you can.
It was embarrassing. That's why at one point in time I thought if the Sharks were there, because they have a lot of experienced players.
There we go again with this Sharks
just
team.
Thinking.
You love the Sharks, right? when someone else can say, if someone else akakwazi wena, people will think when you were born in KZN. You just love the Sharks so much.
No, but there was a time when I think the inspiration came from John Smith when the 2007 team with JP Peterson. I'm happy to see him back now coaching the Sharks. Which it's also encouraging to see players that you can think that have played, young players being given a chance to lead the team.
No, look, if you've probably just been in the Sharks environment, it's a brilliant environment. A lot of players strive just to go to play for the Sharks. They see the atmosphere, it's more chilled and relaxed and all that stuff. And the spectators, they're really people's person. I mean, I think now I probably understand why you love the Sharks. And it's a very just good environment. It's a nice place to be in Durban and all that stuff. However, just looking at them on paper, I mean, especially, I should say maybe this year, you would have really thought that, they were going to just put lightning lights out. But it was not to be.
That was my thinking. Was it because in the semis, Eben was injured?
Yeah.
Or Lukhanyo also was not. Was he there?
Yeah, no. Eben Etzebek was not playing. But look, someone like Eben, it's just one of those players that that he needs to be on the field. Just to talk into the soccer terms, I'm not quite sure which player that if lo akadlali, so it's that type of attitude.
Yeah. No, that's true.
He just brings in a lot. I mean, before he even touches the ball, if the other team opposition, they know he's in the starting lineup. It's like, hey,
he's a game changer.
There we go.
It's like at Real Madrid, Toni Kroos.
Yeah, we have more than we have Toni Kroos is not playing. We have I know. But then again, it's so good just to see the up and young and coming players from the Springbok team. I was quite happy, just to see Rassie Erasmus just playing a couple of players in just to see what we've got and what we don't have and all that stuff. Because I think those players, they are the ones that will be pushing the guys that have won it twice.
I was also impressed when the Springbok plays in Gqeberha. I just felt like that kind of team that played, it shows that the future is bright.
Yeah, how about the spectators there? Amazing vibe there. And
I know Eastern Cape, a lot of black people support rugby.
It was just amazing with the people there, the songs, the kwichos and all that stuff. It just shows that, rugby really just is from that other side. That's where it all started long time ago. And you could see that, there's so much heritage in that side of town. Yeah.
So I was looking for, what you said Erasmus called Jack Ninaba, not Jack White. Because why not Jack White?
I say Jack White info.
But he won the rugby. He was in the URC final.
Honestly, if you're looking at what happened to the Bulls for the past couple of years, I mean, if the players revolt, we hear these things go football. But I'm a players, but our some coach, but petition. This does a soccer. In rugby, it's like how wema. You know what I mean? So that would really tell you, it was something that was so deep to the players that really needed just to be sorted out. But apart from that, look, I think Jack White has done very well as a coach. He's been around. He's been to New Zealand. I beg your pardon. He's been to Australia. He's been to Japan. He's been to England. He's done a lot. So you mustn't really look at himself and say, no, he hasn't done a lot. I mean, for him coming back, coaching the Bulls, because when he came back, the Bulls were down and out. He actually just brought them up and all that stuff.
Improved them.
He has done well in that aspect. But for what happened in the past couple of weeks, I don't think that it was a good thing, for something like that just to come out.
It's not admirable.
No, it's not. No, I wouldn't wish it for any coach.
Look, Mac, good having you.
Hey, brother,
we'll be back again in this rugby segment, ladies and gentlemen. This is Switch On Network. Please continue sharing and subscribing. Want to grow the channel? Those rugby fans from Eastern Cape, where the stadium in Gqeberha, they must tell us what do they think of who should be. If Kolisi maybe bows out after the 2027 Rugby World Cup in Australia, who should be the next captain? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Switch On Network. Bye-bye.